Hey guys, it's Amanda from the Fiction Fairy. Today I'm bringing you a tag. Today is the Goodreads tag, and I know that it has been around BookTube for quite some time. I've seen plenty of your guys' videos, and I love watching them, but I was tagged by Book Party, so I decided to go ahead and give this one a go. So the first question is, what was the last book you marked as read? The last book I marked as read was Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. And that book is absolutely fantastic. It completely went above and beyond my expectations. It blew me out of the water. It was just such a good book. I just gush about that book. And I'm not a gusher necessarily about books. It really takes a good book to get me gushing. And that was fantastic. Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. Very good. What are you currently reading? I'm currently reading Criers Cross by Lisa McMahon. And it's going so far. I haven't got to the end yet, so we'll see how I end up liking the whole thing. What was the last book you marked as to be read or in your TBR? And that is Dark Metropolis by Jacqueline Dollamore. And it is set to be a debut novel this year, and it just looked absolutely fantastic. So if you guys go to Goodreads, it's called Dark Metropolis by Jacqueline Dollamore. And it just looks really good. The cover is beautiful. The synopsis is amazing. So that was the last book I marked for my TBR. What book do you plan to read next? House of Ivy and Sorrow by Natalie Whipple is the next book that I plan to read. Plan being the operative word here. We don't really know if that's going to happen. Do you use a star rating system? I do, but I use on my blog cupcakes to recommend the sweetness of the book. And here I just say 5 out of 5 cupcakes, 4 out of 5 cupcakes versus stars, just because I like it. Are you doing a 2014 reading challenge? I am. My reading challenge is, I believe it's only 30 books, and that's just because I have a full school schedule this year. I take 6 classes, I substitute, and I have an internship, and I'm married, so I have kind of a lot going on, so I'm trying to get as many books in there as possible, but I just gave myself 30 because I don't want to overdo it, because I don't think I've actually ever met one of my challenges, so this year's going to be the years, guys. All right, do you have a wish list? I don't have a wish list because I feel like my TBR kind of does a duality for that. It's kind of like my wish list and my to be read. So my to be read, I know some people, their to be read is strictly books that they actually have that they want to read, where my to be read on Goodreads is just books that I want to read. I may have them, I may not actually have them, they may not be out, so it's kind of a wish list and a to be read at the same time. What book do you plan to buy next? Right now, I don't have any plans to buy any more books. February was a massive month. I do have an order or two coming in March, but I don't have any plans to today or tomorrow or the next week actually purchase any more books as of now. There may be a book that I just see and I really want it, but I really want to make a real effort to get to the books that I already have this year. So I have no plans as of now to purchase any other books at this moment. Do you have any favorite quotes, and would you like to share a few? I have 2 quotes that I particularly like. I mean, there's 100,000 quotes out there that are fantastic, that are good, that are meaningful, but these 2 are ones I just like. And the first one is, no one is ever who you want them to be, and it's from Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohen and David Levithan. And I just really like that quote because it's so true. No one is ever who you want them to be. You're hardly ever who you want yourself to be. So it just rung so true for me that no one is ever who you want them to be. And it's, I don't know, it was just like a life quote, not necessarily just a book quote. So I really loved it. And then the second one is, there comes a time when the world gets quiet and the only thing left is your own heart. So you'd better learn the sound of it, otherwise you'll never understand what it's saying. And that's from Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. And I thought that was a beautiful quote in the book world, and it was a beautiful quote just for life, because sometimes everything is still, and all you do have is what's in your heart. And if you don't know who you are, who your true self is, then you don't know what it's saying to you, and you'll stay lost. And that's a horrible feeling to have. So you have to get to know your own heart, know your own self, and really listen to what it's trying to tell you, what you're trying to tell yourself, and follow your heart. So I really love those 2 quotes. Who are your favorite authors? If you've been on my page, you know them. My favorite authors are V.C. Andrews, R.L. Stein. guys. VC Andrews before she died. I did not, when she died, she started having, her estate had a ghostwriter write for her. So all the books, like, especially like the Millennium and this, that, and the other, are written by her ghostwriter. I don't like those books. I only like the original El Clasico VC Andrews books because I feel like they're written with a different type of passion. Using somebody's name to write under does not make the book feel the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like when Twinkies were out, then they went away, then a new company bought Twinkies, but they taste different than the original Twinkies now. They're a little different tasting. It's kind of like that. So the original VC Andrews, heart her. And then Earl Stein, that is just some Classico on Classico. I mean, FSF. And for those of you who watch my channel who are here with me on Earl Stein knows exactly what FSF means. So Earl Stein and VC Andrews for that one, guys. And the last question is, there's 2 more questions. Have you joined any groups? There's no groups on Goodreads that I've joined that I remember. I've been on Goodreads for quite some time, so I may have joined groups years ago and just never, like, actively participated in them. So if you're like, oh, she's a big old fat liar, she did join this group, I'm saying there may be some groups that I joined a while ago, just never actively participated in, so I don't recall. So I don't think there is any, but there may be some. And then the last question is, are there any questions you would like to add? And there are no questions I would like to add. I think it's a fantastic tag, and I would love for all of you guys to do this tag if you have not already, because I think that it's fun to find out who you are as far as like your book personality and your Goodreads. I know sometimes we update our Goodreads about 4,000 times a day, so it's actually hard to do that because by the time this video is up, that may very well change. So again, do not go to my Goodreads page and be like, she's a straight liar. That is not the last book she added to her TBR. It could possibly change. So it's just a fun tag to do, guys. I'm so excited that you guys are coming by to watch it. So thanks for stopping by and watching me on The Fiction Fairy.